Okay, so what kind of situation do we currently have on NZDCAD? Now, from a monthly point of view, we have a market that clearly has created this very strong descending trend line. And currently the market is testing it. Now, this trend line has been tested many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the sixth time that the market goes to test this trend line. Will it break it, or will it show a retracement? Now, from a pattern perspective, okay, if we look at what we have on the monthly, we can see that the market is currently at the previous high. So at this resistance area, that should be resistance again. It should lead in the market making the move to the downside. Specifically, we have a move down, retracement, lower low, equal high. We expect a move to the downside, creation of the inverted head and shoulders, and a move to the upside. So we want to see this last wave to the downside for the creation of the inverted head and shoulders. But we have to first see on lower time frames if we will get the proper confirmations. So let's go down on the weekly and see what kind of situation we have on the weekly time frame. Now, on the weekly, we don't really have anything interesting. We just know that the market is showing some very strong bullish momentum and currently is testing the previous high here again. And we should see the move to the downside, as we have already seen from a monthly point of view. The only thing that we can really get from the weekly is that if we have to basically identify a target to the downside, we can be looking at this level here as the target, since it is a very strong structure level. Resistance here, again resistance, again resistance. All this resistance is turned support here, and we want to see the market go and test it. If we go down on the daily, what kind of situation can we see from a daily point of view? First of all, we can definitely confirm that this level here, our target to the downside from the weekly, is a very strong structure level. It was resistance, 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 turn support here, and we would like to see the market go and test the zone. We know that the market has this very strong trend line, and we know that the market is at the weekly high. So from here, what do we need to see specifically after this huge impulse to the upside? Now, if you remember, we wanted to see this impulse to the upside after the market here had broken this structure and created an equal high in the exact same way in which we now want to see the wave to the downside. In fact, if you remember in that analysis, that by the way, I will link in the description, what did we say? We said the market went down, up, down. If the market will create an equal high, then we expect a retracement and continuation to the upside. And that is exactly what the market did. If you want to go and rewatch that analysis, I will link it in description. And we wanted to see the move to the upside, and that is exactly what the market given us. But now, since the market has shown so much strong movement to the upside, we need to see a proper deceleration before we can be looking for the move down, because from a 4-hour perspective, everything is absolutely bullish. So we need to see proper deceleration, a shift from a bullish market to a bearish market from a 4-hour perspective, before we can be looking for any potential shorts. Because from here, the market can just continue to push to the upside, and we simply will not be taking any shorts with students, because on the 4 hours, everything is still bullish. So the way in which you're supposed to be approaching this market is, as usual, reactive and not predictive. But first, let's go and see what kind of situation we have from a COT perspective, so commitment of traders. What hedge funds are currently doing from an NZD perspective, and what they're doing from a CAD perspective. Let's start from the CAD. Now on the CAD, we can see that currently from a hedge fund perspective, we're sitting at minus 33K, meaning that hedge funds have more shorts than longs on the CAD. So we went from having more longs than shorts to having more shorts than longs on the CAD. And currently they have been closing some longs. So what does it mean? It means that CAD is getting very weak, but at the same time, are they adding more shorts? No, meaning that we can get a retracement in the weakness of the CAD, which should lead to NZDCAD making the move to the downside if CAD will make a retracement from its weakness, becoming a little bit stronger. And if we go and see what we have from an NZD perspective, we can see that currently we are still pretty bearish with minus 12K net positions. So definitely way more shorts than longs from an institutional perspective. In fact, we have currently 27K shorts and 14K longs. So definitely we can expect NZD to make a retracement in its strength and make a move to the downside. Now, lately, only longs have been opened, no shorts. That is why it would be great to see a deceleration and basically a distribution phase, because it would give hedge funds the possibility to start adding some shorts and closing some longs, and we would see it reflected in the next report. That is why we said NZDCAD is not ready for the move to the downside. We need to see proper development here inside of this area with a clear deceleration before we can be looking for any trade to the downside. But anyway, the way in which we will be approaching it is, as usual, in a reactive way and not predictive. With students, we will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of this area, waiting for the market to shift from a bullish market to a bearish market, and then for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And then we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the downside. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you. And I will see you in the next video.